I have seen a lot of drug use. I always thought growing up that I was going to be a professional athlete, and I thought drugs were for losers. I was a really happy kid. I remember having lots of fun. I remember laughing a lot with friends. Just after high school, playing footy, I got knocked out 3 times within the space of about a year and had really severe concussions. After that, my head wasn't quite the same as what it used to be. It was hard for me to find that happiness. I could say that was probably the first time that I felt depression. And then I went through a pretty rough breakup. I was getting drunk every week, sometimes twice a week. So on a Wednesday night would be uni night, and then on a Saturday night would be after footy. And then finishing uni, I couldn't get a job, so I had no career and I had less than no money. I was broke, I felt worthless, I felt hopeless, and I felt lonely. I never really liked going to nightclubs unless it was with the footy boys after a function. But this one particular night, I decided that now that I was single, I was going to go out and explore the city. It was about 2 a.m. and I was in this dirty nightclub, and it was full of all these people from my hometown, and I was falling asleep in the corner. So a guy that I knew from back home, he found me and he said, do you need something to stay awake? So I said, yeah, sure, I'm falling asleep and everyone else is having fun, what's going on? So he said, do you want a bump? And I'm thinking, what the hell's a bump? So he took me into a bathroom stall and he put some white powder up under my nose and said, snort this. And nothing is like the first time. I ended up ripping my shirt off on the dance floor and I partied for days. The next couple of weekends rolled around and I did the same trick again. I went up to someone and I said, I'm feeling really sleepy. Have you got anything for me? And, I'd always run into someone from my hometown and they'd be like, Sully, he's good at footy. He's asking me for something. I'll just give him something for free. So it went from powder to pills, and then just doing it on one night turned into doing it for 2-day benders and 3-day benders. There was one particular footy function where I went out with a bunch of guys that I played footy with, and like normal, day 1 turned into day 2, and then it come around that we ended up at someone's house in Melton, and after 48 hours of being awake, I started falling asleep in the corner again. So someone said, come into the bathroom with me, I'll give you something to stay awake. And expecting pills or powder, I was giving a crack pipe. And that was the first time and the last time that I ever smoked ice. So that bender went on for another day or 2, and it was probably a Tuesday, and all the guys that I was doing with ended up going back to work, and me not having a job. I was all alone and my heart was beating out of my face. I was bawling my eyes out, thinking that I was going to die. That was a big turning point in my life. I thought I'd stooped as low as smoking ice. After that, I pulled my head in, and it wasn't too much longer after that I met Taylor, and no longer was I alone. I found work, so I had money. I did a PT course and started working in a gym, so I found a career, and my whole life turned around. Oftentimes, I'll still get really sad and have that feeling of worthlessness. And now that I have a family of my own, in some ways it heightens it. I feel that I'm not a worthy husband and I'm not a worthy father. But I no longer have any feelings of hurting myself or ending it all, because I know that I have to be there for them. So even though I only did hard drugs for 6 to 12 months, and you may know someone that's been doing it for decades, you wouldn't compare me to them as having a problem, but I think doing any drugs is a problem.